So this one's going to be different. Could be motivational for some, and it could turn people off from me completely. And that's, you know what, totally fine with me. Because if you don't support me for who I am, I don't need you in my life. Plain and simple. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. That's my philosophy. I haven't had... let me start off a different way. I have had the most amazing, supportive, loving friends and family that anybody could ever ask for. And I'm 1000% not even 1000%. I am 1,000,000,000,000% sure of this, that I am one of the lucky ones. Because there are so many people a part of this community that get disowned, that get abused physically, emotionally, mentally, and are traumatized just because of being who they are, who they were born as. And you guys can argue amongst yourselves over and over and over again that if you want, that it's, you're not born this way and blah, 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 blah. But from a person who lives it daily, we are born this way. And I have chosen to do this on this platform because I feel like it's important for people to really understand and see that you don't need to be, and I totally understand why people feel this way, but you don't need to be ashamed of who you are. People are going to love you for who you are. People are going to care about you for who you are. And if they find out who you are and they don't like you, that's on them. Because if they liked you for who you were before they found this aspect out about you, again, that's on them. They have to look inside themselves and say, holy shit, I just found out something about somebody. And it doesn't really affect my life, but I don't like them anyways. But what is my issue with why I don't like them? That person has to look deep inside themselves to find out what's going on with them as to why they don't like you for just, something that doesn't... Anyway, you guys get the point. So, I would say about 80% of the people that my friends that I have right now know this part about me, and then 20% don't. I have lived my life over the last 5 years in a way they call stealth. And that's because I was scared. I was very scared of, and I still am. I won't sugarcoat it. I'm nervous about doing this, but I need to do it because I've gotten messages from people in this community asking me how I did it, why I did it, and things like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you. In 2000, what year was it? 2000, I would say 7 or 8. I was working on my own personal journey, and started figuring things out about myself that I didn't like, that I wasn't proud of, things that I was hiding, and I couldn't live my life like that anymore. So in 2011, after living my life a certain way from 2008. Yeah, so for 3 years I was changing myself on the inside, and it was starting to show on the outside. 2011, my friend Caden and I went to the Dover, New Hampshire court, and I was given the ability to have my name changed. So I did. I had my name changed. I went back to my birth given name that I was given when I was born in Honduras. I still sometimes have issues with that choice for my last name, only because my whole family, their last name is Collier, and I'm the only Rapolo in my family. However, the reason why I did that, changing my last name and my first name, by the way, the reason why I changed my last name was because I didn't want anything to do with my father. There was so much damage and emotional and mental damage that was done that I could not live my adult life anymore with having any name the same of that, my same name as his. I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. I talked to my family about it before. They were all sad, but they understood. So I got my blessing. I also changed my first name. The reason why I changed my first name is because I was now identifying as male. I was born female, and I can't say never, but growing up, probably I would say at the age like 7 or 8, I knew something was different. I knew I didn't feel right. Nothing made sense to me. I didn't understand why certain things were happening that, wasn't happening to other boys. And it just didn't make sense to me. When puberty hit, Lord, was that a freaking nightmare. It was awful. And to say awful, it was torture. I was constantly hurting. I physically, mentally, I was a wreck. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand that my body was doing something that it wasn't supposed to do. My mind, my brain, and my heart, my soul, they were just not matching up. And it was literally like they were fighting. I couldn't figure out why my body was basically breaking me in half. I couldn't, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But, and this goes for quite a few transgendered people. Some people had no issue with going through puberty. I did. I didn't show it. I didn't say it to any family. I didn't do anything like that. I just suffered in silence. And when I mean suffered, I did. I suffered in silence. Throughout high school, I tried as hard as I could to act the part, to be the part that my body was showing. But it just, God, I was uncomfortable. And then after the abuse growing up, I ballooned up in my weight. I didn't want to be attractive. I didn't want people noticing me. I didn't want any attention from anybody. Literally felt like my life was over. Like, I'm a guy, I'm a boy, I'm a man. Why do I look like this? Why this doesn't make sense to me. Like, nothing made sense to me. And so I just suffered in silence. And then when I moved up to New Hampshire in 2005, 2005, and I was serving in the City Air Corps. At that time, I was still my previous name. And it was a little easier. I could change a little bit of my appearance. But it still wasn't the same. I was still suffering. I still was unhappy in my own skin. And then in 2006 is when I met my wife, my now wife. And I was introduced to her friends. So my circle expanded. And up here, there was a much bigger circle that I was able to find and become a part of people who were in the LGBT plus community. Where I kind of felt like I belonged. Because again, I wasn't identifying sexual orientation and gender identity, because they're not the same at all. Two completely different things. So, but I still just couldn't figure myself out. And then I was introduced to somebody who was starting their process of transitioning. I had no idea that anything like this even existed. And so in 2007 is when I was talking to them more. I was figuring out now, like, holy crap, this actually exists. Like, you can make your body match your brain. You can change your shell and make yourself look and feel like it all makes sense. What? I was so confused, but then I was so happy. So happy. It literally changed my life. I was no longer depressed. I was no longer... I'm still uncomfortable in my body. I haven't had surgeries, so I'm still very uncomfortable in my body. However, I started taking HRT, hormone replacement therapy, so medically transitioning, in other words, in 2012. So I've been on hormones for 8.5 years. This is what I look like. I can grow a full beard. Nobody would ever guess, basically. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I have so much respect for the people that were living their lives authentically and 100% themselves, and they were able to do that. People who are not a part of the LGBT plus community just simply can't understand. They can empathize, but they can't understand the struggle that this community goes through. The LG and B part of that acronym have been able to get laws to protect them. The T, the community that I'm a part of, we are still fighting every single day to just be accepted for who we are. Now, it's very hard to understand unless you've been a part of a minority group. Like I said in past videos, I am in a minority in multiple groups. In a disability minority, so disabled to my race, to being Hispanic, and now, as you guys know, I'm transgendered. And I'm very proud of who I am. I didn't hide I wasn't trying to avoid this. I was simply waiting for my heart to say that it was the best time to do so. And the reason why I'm doing this again too is because I've gotten messages from younger kids who are identifying as transgendered, and their families have kicked them out. They've disowned them. They've hurt them physically, mentally, emotionally. For the parents out there, what's something that could happen or that your child could do that could ever make you stop loving them? Is there anything? The reason why I'm asking you that is because the kids that do, anybody, it doesn't have to be kids, anybody that comes out as transgendered and has the strength, they summon the strength to tell you that, it is an incredible feeling for them to speak it and say it to people. This isn't the first time that I've said this, that I am transgendered. But it's the first time for some people. And they need to feel loved. They need to feel accepted. Our government has taken so much from my community. The inability to be protected, just like anybody else, just for being who we are. Those rights that everybody else gets to live with and be comforted in, knowing that just because of who they are, they can't lose their jobs, they can't lose, their housing, their health care, things like that. I mean, I could walk into a doctor's office right now, and because of who I am, that provider could turn me away and say, I'm sorry, I'm not treating you. Even though I'm on my deathbed. Just because of who I am. Again, as somebody who's looking to start my family, and somebody who, is a part of this community, I embrace everybody. It doesn't matter what color you are, if you're disabled, if you're a part of this LGBTQ plus community, your religion, I don't care. If you're a good person and have a genuine heart, that's all that matters to me. A lot of you guys might be surprised by this. Some people, you may not be surprised. But again, I'm doing this because I need to stand in my truth. I need to own how I feel. And I can't help but smile, but it feels freaking good to finally say this on a live stream where anybody and everybody can see this. And I'm prepared to get hate messages. I've mentally prepared myself for all of it. So, honestly, all I have to do is hit the delete button on any negative messages that could be sent to me. Because that's all I care. I just delete it and it's out of my life. Even if it doesn't get deleted, it doesn't faze me. I am very proud of who I am. I'm honored to be in a position where people can look up to me or message me and ask for advice, because I've gone I've gone 11 and a half years of this whole transition. So just 8.5 have been medically transitioning. So it's very freeing to do this. It's very it's been a long time coming, and yeah. I hope if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I've had messages from parents who have asked me for guidance on their children. I have had messages from friends who feel like they may identify this way. I've had people from school systems message me and ask how they can accommodate and be more open to their students who are trans, have come out as transgendered. I've had organizations reach out to me asking me if there was different, how their policies can be adjusted so that they are accepting of transgendered people. And I'm not saying this to gloat at all. I'm just saying that I am putting myself out there for anybody to ask questions, appropriate questions, and things like that. And when you're asking a personal question, just think, would you ask this question to anybody, you know, would you accept this question from somebody that you didn't know? I mean, it just makes sense. So be respectful. Whether you like this part about me or not, that's fine. I'm just asking to be respected. You don't have to, again, if this turns you away from me, that's totally fine. I don't care. Again, I'm proud of who I am. I've accomplished a lot in my life. I've been through hell and back in my life. And I'm willing and wanting to help in any way that I can. So, yeah. I hope you guys have a great day. And I will talk to you soon. Make it a positive day, guys. Make it a beautiful day.